Former Mayor Emily Larson's $75 million plan to redesign the Downtown Duluth Library appears to be no more. Yesterday, the Duluth City Council talked about plans and goals for 2024, including what comes next for the library. Under Larson, the library was going to be redesigned and repurposed into a multi-purpose community service center. But we learned yesterday the new mayor, Reinert, wants to do something different, talking to developers about turning the area into a space for housing, commercial, and retail, along with a footprint for library and meeting space. Last night, Reinert told the council the old plan for just library space was too spendy.
But when it's juxtaposed against a lot of other needs within the community and the things we talked about, it just doesn't rise to that #1 slot. $75 million is a huge ask.
City councilors reacted to the new library vision at yesterday's meeting with a handful of questions about costs and procedures. Yesterday's meeting was an agenda session. A final decision will be made at Monday night's council meeting.